Welcome to the watch party for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, and Lucas Oil Products is pledging to donate 100,000 meals through the No Kid Hungry organization, helping struggling families. Because as schools shut their doors in response to COVID-19, a lot of kids are left without high-quality meals that would normally be provided by school. So Lucas Oil will donate meals, and all you have to do to help is share the official campaign post. You'll find it on Lucas Oil's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So Lucas Oil will donate one meal for each person that shares the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family over social media. Again, share the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family on social media, and up to 100,000 meals will be donated through the No Kid Hungry organization. You can find Lucas Oil on Facebook at official Lucas Oil, Twitter at Lucas_oil, and Instagram at Lucas Oil Products.
Weekend it has been here in Michigan. We're just north of the Indiana state line here in Buchanan, Michigan. And here is your Suzuki starting grid. The man to beat right now, it's as simple as this. It's Ryan Villopoto.
No doubt about it. Ryan was the fastest in the first moto and just looked really solid.
The entire rundown for you. It's a classy field, but the man at the top is proving very difficult to beat. And you can see down there right at the bottom, Ryan Dungey. Of course, he is a non-starter. Hello again, Erin. What have you got for us?
A lot of focus and emphasis on a lot of these riders taking a little bit of time off during the weekend off that we just had. Well, not quite the case for the number 58 factory Yamaha rider Josh Hill. You just witnessed him pull off a 6th place there in the very first moto, but what he said, I've trained more extensively over the last couple of weeks because I know that a lot of these guys right now need a little bit of a break, a little bit of recuperation time, and he's hoping that it's going to work to his benefit.
There you have it, a Progressive Direct pre-race report bringing you up to date moments before the gates drop here in Moto 2 of the Motocross lights. Will Townley come to the fore here like he's done multiple times this year and get on top of his teammate?
Well, he has been very strong in the second motos, and there's no reason to believe that that there's anything that's going to stand in the way. But Ryan Villopoto, once again, last race at Budds Creek was awesome in the second moto. So just going to see who wants it more. The desire and the determination is really going to show through in the second moto.
Will he be able to duplicate what he did at Budds Creek? And that was the fastest qualifier, winner of Moto 1, winner of Moto 2, and the winner overall. That's Ryan Villopoto. Well, this man here from New Zealand, Ben Townley, his teammate, will be trying his very best to stop him. Ricky Renner is carrying our onboard camera from Team Solitaire Honda.
In the first moto, he was lined up on the very inside gate. He's got a couple gates over now. I like his starting position in this one a little better than the first.
Motocross lights ready to roar into action here at RedBud.
And remember, Josh Grant was the winner at High Point. First part of the Monster Triple Crown. He's really going to have to do something special here in the second moto if he's going to take the overall. Started great in the first moto, then gave away the lead while fell down while he was leading. See if he can improve that.
Seconds away. Moto 2, Motocross lights. And it's the two Kawasaki boys up front. What a brutal encounter on the opening stages. One rider down. We're on board with Ricky Renner, and that's just how busy it is. There was a Suzuki with a dynamic start. Was that Andrew McFarlane, or was it Kelly Smith? We'll find out.
That rider down in the first turn is Kyle Chisholm.
Is that Lawrence? That's Jason Lawrence who's down. Just got flicked from his Yamaha.
And it looks like the front number plate's a little bit tweaked, but the bars look like they're still pretty straight. That's what's important when you go down hard like that.
Good, quick recovery. At the end of the opening lap, we'll update you where he is, and we'll watch the comeback. And Josh Hill down as well. Both factory Yamaha boys dropping their machines on the opening lap. And Hill is saying, that's it, I'm done.
Looks like he might have a problem with the 250F Yamaha there. It didn't seem like he had taken a spill.
And it's Townley out in front from Villopoto. And it looks like Andrew McFarlane third. Here's the Progressive Direct hole shot.
You see there was a rider way on the outside here, making a run at it. But across the stripe, it was Ben Townley.
On board with Renner.
Watch out the right side of your screen there. That's Chisholm down. That was entering the second turn. And keep a look on the blue bike on the right.
Oh, front end.
Catches a rut and just high sides and falls down. Luckily, he didn't bend the bike up or have an injury himself, and he's going to remount it, but in close to last place.
Mr. Moto 2. That's what Ben Townley is becoming known as.
And you can see just how treacherous the track is at this point. There's lines all over the place as Filippoto just makes Larocco's lead.
Seeing if he can get any advantage, seeing if he can already try and breach the gap to his Monster Energy Kawasaki teammate.
And you can see they put that little bit of water there on that downhill, on the other uphill. First lap of this second moto, you've got to be real careful that you don't come around into a line that's got a lot of water down and you weren't expecting it. Track going to be a little bit harder packed this moto, and some of that wet stuff on top. You see Townley's bike skating around coming into the first turn area.
Remember, whoever wins the second moto wins the overall. Filippoto is trying to join riders like our own Jeff Emig to win back-to-back.
Aaron, what do you got for us?
Well, guys, a quick update of Ben Townley's health. I went and chatted with him in between Moto 1 and this Moto here, and he said, actually, I'm feeling 100% right now. Whether or not he's just telling me a bit of a fib, these guys don't like to let a little bit of blood out, kind of like the sharks in the water theory. But he said he is feeling okay. He said it's 100%, and he's got his game face on for this Moto number 2.
And Ben Townley's going to need it because Ryan Villopoto with the number 1 plate is using all different kinds of lines, searching for a passing spot here early in the second moto, trying to take that overall win.
Jason Lawrence is not in the top 20. That's how much catch-up he has to do. And remember, he is one of those 3 riders fighting for third in the championship. The guy who is wrestling is Josh Grant, who's way back in 13th. Tommy Hart is 14th. Some of the riders that are in contention for this title have a lot of work to do in Moto 2. Behind the Kawasaki boys, it's the rockstar Suzuki of Andrew McFarlane. He has bounced back from an unimpressive result in the opening moto, and that's a real source of frustration for the Australian. He told me yesterday, he said, I just have to put 2 motos together. When I do well in one, I don't do well in the other. Look at Filippoto putting the pressure on his teammate.
Townley shuts the door, pitches him off. And we see Filippoto on the first lap try this outside line. He's not afraid.
Is he going to do Larocco's lead? No, he gets shut down by Townley. Forced to go 2-1.
Just incredible racing. We've seen Ryan Villopoto all season. When he is behind, he is willing to pull out all the stops and ride the wide line, using that extra momentum, but definitely twisting the throttle on that Kawasaki 250F.
Teammates, so what? Townley wasn't about to give him an easy passage by.
Well, I think that was a pretty clean move there. He just basically blocked the line. Now, is this going to be for Ben Townley? Is that little wake-up call that he might have needed to say, okay, I need to let it all hang out here in the second moto. I got to drop my lap time, or Filippoto is going to be all over me.
Fastest lap of the race, albeit in the early stages, belongs to the man in second who just got a little out of shape there. Filippoto continues the charge. Can Townley go all the way? Poto on the one, though. Almost gets Townley on the inside. Now has he got the advantage, Jeff?
Townley's got the inside. Let's see if he can take advantage of that. Filippoto on the outside.
He has been trying to work something lap after lap, and finally it pays off for the championship leader. Filippoto in front. Now can Townley respond?
Filippoto was such an aggressive burst of energy there. Found some great lines to overtake the lead. And remember, this is for the overall here today at RedBud.
Let's take another look at that. This is good, hard, professional riding.
See how deep the inside line was that Villopoto chose. Uses a wide line. Stays on the gas.
Thank you very much. I'll take the lead. Kawasaki continues to dominate this year's Motocross Lights Championship. And Villopoto almost a mistake. A definite mistake. But he hangs on to it.
Unreal. That was like he was riding a wild bull at that point, that he held on to it. That was a series of mistakes, and fortunately kept it on 2 wheels.
He has been able to gap Ben Townley substantially. Let's take you back and have another look at that and hang on tight.
Here's Villopoto coming in, the right-hander before the tabletop. He misses the line. Then front wheel loses traction over the inside, drops down into the rut. Fantastic piece of riding and just a great save for Ryan Villopoto.
Behind the 2 Kawasaki boys, it's been a wonderful fight for third. And what a comeback from the Sobi No Fear Samsung Honda rider, Josh Grant. He was, when we documented him earlier in the race, Jeff, he was 13th or 16th or something. He's now running third.
Yeah, well outside of the top 10. Fantastic piece of riding for Grant, and his teammate, Jake Weimer, has rode up into the 4th position also, and it's just a couple of seconds off of Grant.
It's a team affair. The Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki boys 1 and 2. Then the Honda Works boys 3 and 4. And what about this guy? The Boost Mobile Yamaha of Jason Lawrence. He was not even in the top 20, and he is now running 9th.
Well, taking it into consideration that there were a couple of riders that went down in the first 2 turns off the start. Jason went down about a quarter of a lap in. It'd be safe to say he was somewhere around 37th or 38th after he got up from his fall on the first lap.
He's working Chris Gossler here. This is for 8th. In fact, it's not Chris, I beg your pardon. Of course, that's a KDM.
That's Rodriguez.
Wow, this is good stuff. How far can he go with the time left? 6.5 minutes remaining plus the 2 laps.
Jason Lawrence has had a couple of motos this year where he's had a ride from way back in the pack, showing that he's physically fit.
Inside on Rodriguez. Yes, another one down, another one off his list. What a ride. Coming into the closing stanza, and we will follow Jason Lawrence's progress and maintain Villopoto's lead. Are you an AMA member? If not, why not? It's very simple. AMADirectLink.com, or simply call 1-800-AMA-JOIN. Rights, riding and racing. You can be an AMA member like all of these talented boys out on track right now. Race leader Ryan Villopoto to the tune of 6.5 seconds over his Monster Energy Kawasaki teammate Ben Townley. But Jeff, there is a fabulous battle going on for third between Grant, Weimer and McFarlane.
Yeah, McFarlane actually was up front. Grant and Weimer came past him. Now McFarlane putting on another charge. So we take a look at it right here. Weimer kind of sandwiched between these 2 riders where he needs to be focused on Josh Grant, but yet he's looking over his shoulder, making sure McFarlane's not going to sneak on the inside of him. A lot of lines to choose from here late in the day here at RedBud.
Very valuable championship points for Josh Grant on the Sobi No Fear Honda. And that will help his run for third, overtaking Ryan Dungey, the absent Ryan Dungey, and we wish him well in his recovery. We're on our way home. We've crossed the 30-minute mark. We're inside the final 2 laps. Who will win this? Look at Weimer. He's coming on strong.
Grant cuts to the inside, takes the line away from Weimer. Teammates here, hopefully they're going to keep it clean, but you know Jake Weimer wants this position.
And while these 2 scrap and fight, it could be to the advantage of the Rockstar Suzuki of Andrew McFarlane. Weimer on the inside. Josh Grant about to let this happen? Both these boys have been clearing LaRocco's lead.
I don't think they're going to jump it this time. They both, oh, and Grant goes for LaRocco's lead from the inside line.
That's good stuff. He knew the challenge was on there. He cuts through that big run, through that very tricky left-hander. Weimer is not done with yet.
Just powered that factor connection from the inside line over LaRocco's lead. First time we've seen that all day.
And he's going for the big ones when he has to hang on to this final podium spot. In Moto 2, round 5 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Lights Championship. He wants to be as close as he can to the Kawasaki pair up front in case either of them make a mistake in the chase for this championship. After today, 7 rounds still to go, a long way to go. Final lap. Villopoto is poised to take the double, to do it all again, just like he did at Bud's Creek 2 weeks ago.
And the interesting thing, Lee, is that in overall wins here at RedBud in the lights class, Honda has a, Yamaha has a, Kawasaki has a, Suzuki has 3. So we have a 3-way battle between the manufacturers for the most overall wins.
What about that for style? But we won't in about 3 corners time.
In about 3 corners, Kawasaki's going to have the record for 9 overall wins here at RedBud in the lights division.
The other thing this brilliant 18-year-old is going to do, he's going to do what you did, Jeff, a few years ago. Back-to-back winners in the lights class at RedBud. What a stellar weekend. He's cleaned them out. Fastest qualifier, wins Moto 1, wins Moto 2. Ryan Villopoto does it at RedBud. It's a Kawasaki 1-2 yet again. And he strengthens his grip on this lights championship.
Ryan is loving that victory. That was hard earned. And his teammate Ben Townley put on a huge charge. Well-earned victory for Villopoto.
The scrap for third continues. It's the Works Honda boys going hard at it. And Josh Grant with that awesome rip from the inside and up over LaRocco's lead still keeps himself in third.
And watching Jake Weimer, he knows that time is of the essence here. He's going to try to put on a charge somewhere around LaRocco's lead area.
Is that gap too far? The outside line this time for Josh Grant, then cuts back in. Does he blast high? No, he won't do it this time. He faltered there a little.
He makes a mistake. Oh, and Weimer, I thought he had LaRocco's lead taking that outside line and just hit a kicker. Time is running out for the Factor Connection Honda guys here.
Final 2 turns coming up. Well done, Josh Grant. That is some comeback ride. He was in the teens, 13th or 14th at the end of the opening lap. Superb performance that keeps him in the championship hunt. Great podium in Moto 2 for Josh Grant. Jake Weimer, a solid 4th, and Andrew McFarlane will come in to grab 5th spot on the Rockstar Suzuki. But today, the colour is green. And it's all about Ryan Villopoto. Celebrating on the podium, and we'll hear from him when we come back. By the all-new 2007 Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. Well, what did you think about that as we return to RedBud? Motocross Lights, round 5, it is done in the AMA Toyota Championship. And a very dominating performance from the teenager Ryan Villopoto. What does the future hold for this young man? Does he step it up to the motocross class and take the fight to James Stewart in the future? The Toyota Truck scoreboard shows us the rundown there. And Grant Lawrence, Weimer, Tommy Hahn, and McFarlane, they would all be pleased with their performances in the top 10. Let's hear from our winner. He's standing by with Aaron Bates.
You could kind of say it's kind of like King Ryan. He just lifted his monster can and the whole crowd cheered for him like you wouldn't believe. Ryan, a hard battle out there, a well-deserved victory. Which part of the track were you making up the most time on your teammate?
Well, you know, I didn't think the track was going to be this good, you know, in the first 2 practices this morning, because it was It was really one line and pretty muddy, but it really came around that second moto, and I can't thank the team enough, Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki and Jeff Fox and Parts Unlimited and Toyota of Escondido, just everybody that's helped me out. Thanks.
Ryan Villapoto adding himself to the record books with back-to-back wins.
Well, he did it 2 weeks ago at Budds Creek. He's done it again here at RedBud. He just cleaned them out, fastest and the best in every session. And looking at the championship points, he is still the man to beat and extends his lead margin over Ben Townley. And Ryan Dungey will be reeling from that practice qualifying accident that has taken him out of third place in this championship. All right, let's hear from a man who played a very good comeback game.
Talk about clawing your way up to the podium. Josh, a very hard battle out there. You look absolutely exhausted right now. Take us through it.
Yeah, I pushed the whole time, and it was hard. And I was sick all day today, and just been sleeping and throwing up. But I got through it, and that's all that matters. And I couldn't have done it without the Sobe No Fear Honda team.
Hard charge out there. Great job.
Thanks.
Super performance from the ill Josh Grant. Hey, reminding you that at Thursday at 8, it's Pink's All Out. And it's not for the pink slip, they're chasing the green. $10,000 in cold hard cash. Need to run fast, run hard with Pink's All Out. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed. So, we have heard from first, we have heard from third. Let's hear from second. Here's Aaron.
Ben Townley, very excited to have this weekend over with kind of a blank look on your face right now. Ben, take us through your weekend and how happy are you to have this over and finished with?
Well, yeah, I'm happy with the performance. Obviously, after yesterday and that, just being able to come back and even race today was good. So, but I'm a racer, when the gate drops, I want to be out front, and didn't have it for Ryan today. He rode really well, and just got to work on it a little bit more, I think.
Just goes to show you the passion and dedication that these guys have.
Yeah, Ben Townley will be relieved that this weekend has come to a close in the Motocross Lights division. Can anyone catch Ryan Villapoto is the question, Jeff Emig.
Well, I'm not sure, man. It's looking tough for the rest of the guys because Villapoto is on rails. His fitness seems to be great. His bike is great. He, had a couple of, off-track experiences that he saved, so he seems to be a little bit lucky. Hard to beat a guy in that position.
This event was presented by Monster Energy Kawasaki and their boy. Well, both their riders went all the way today, first and second, making it a green weekend. The next event in the AMA Toyota Motocross Lights Championship is in 2 weeks' time at the Unadilla Valley Sports Center in New York. And this fabulous championship still has a long way to go. Glad you could be with us on Speed. On behalf of Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Lee Diffie. We'll see you next time. 2 weeks ago at Budds Creek, we saw both sides of the story. Ricky Carmichael winning his 100th event and James Stewart trying to stop him. Coupled with the success is Carmichael's passion for the result. With 100 AMA outdoor wins, RC has 2 more opportunities to make his combined Supercross and Motocross resume read an even 150 victories. For the others, there are 2 more chances to stop him. It's a different venue, but the same story. Can anyone stop the master, Ricky Carmichael? That's what we're here waiting to see as round 5 of the AMA Toyota National Motocross Championship presented by FMF clicks another gear on the 2007 calendar. Hello, Lee Diffie along with Jeff Emig here at the beautiful RedBud in Michigan for the Monster Energy Kawasaki National. So we're running out of time to see Ricky Carmichael race motocross outdoor events. Just 2 events left for him, Jeff, but if we cast our mind back 2 weeks ago, we've perhaps never seen a more graphic display of his desire, determination to succeed.
Ricky Carmichael had an incredible ride at Budds Creek. He went 2-1 for the overall, grabbing his 100th national motocross overall win. Just an incredible accomplishment. Carmichael only has 2 more national motocross events in his career. So I'm saying that he's going to leave everything on the table. And once again here at RedBud Track and Trail, he's going to show us why he's a multi-time champion.
2 more left for Ricky to go out on top, but that only means 2 more left for James Stewart to try and beat him.
And Team Kawasaki and James Stewart have been working so hard this year trying to get that overall. And remember, Stewart's the only rider this year that has beat Ricky Carmichael. He's won 2 of the motos. The interesting thing is that once Ricky leaves, James Stewart is the heir apparent to the championship, but I'm sure that he wants to go out, he wants to beat Ricky Carmichael in these races and prove that he deserves to be champion.
All right, a championship is all about points. Let's take a look at how it stands coming into round 5 this year. And Ricky boasts a 16-point advantage over James Stewart. Andrew Short having a stellar start to the year. He's tied with Grant Langston on 129. And then 2 points back is Kawasaki's Timmy Ferry. All right, let's take you now to highlights of Moto 1. Ricky Carmichael begins his campaign for 7 consecutive overall wins here at RedBud in the main class. What we didn't see there was Michael Alessi getting the progressive direct hole shot, but then Carmichael, the first of several errors in this opening moto. That was the first part of it. This is the second. The opening lap, he misses the entrance to the whoops, rejoins but loses second spot to James Stewart. Several laps later, after Michael Alessi had led the opening stanza, Stewart blasts through on the inside through the whoops. And then here comes Ricky. Both feet on the pegs, bike dancing beneath him. That was a very savvy pass for second on Alessi. And check this out for momentum. Through the whoops, takes the high side and blasts around the outside of Stewart. Listen to the roar of the crowd. He was in control until he got out of control. Managed to hang on to the bike, got it in the right direction, but he was 4 seconds in arrears. He almost made it up on the last lap. This happened, got bogged down in one of the final turns, and he knew that the win was James Stewart's. Pretty pumped about that. That's his 3rd opening moto victory of the year for the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider, and a nice effort and a fine 3rd place to Michael Alessi. Let's hear what Stewart has to say about his win.
Making it 3 Moto 1 wins for James Stewart so far this season. James, you're the only guy out there that's been able to manage to beat Ricky Carmichael at his own game. What is it like here at RedBud for you? Because last year was a little bit brutal.
It's just fun racing. You know, I'm happy the last couple of weeks the way I've been riding. You know, I felt like pretty good, and just a game of chess out there. You know, he'll pass me, then I just have to stay on him, and then he'll make a mistake, and then he'll catch it back up, then I just have to pick it up and ride it out. So it was definitely a fun race. Kind of reminded me of Orlando, so it was good.
Guys, you can expect this battle to heat up for Moto number 2. We're going to take a break, but take a look at the highlights from Budds Creek.
He has not been beaten here in 7 years. He's in a run on the outside. He gets pushed wide and out of bounds right there.
If he's going to earn number 100, Stewart's going to make him earn it. It's going to take everything that he has, and he's going to have to lay it all on the table here today in the second moto at Budds Creek.
Here goes Carmichael to the inside. Stewart made a little mistake, didn't block it, and Ricky Carmichael has the lead. Ricky Carmichael has done it. Win number 100 will go in the books. With this win, with the checkered flag, Carmichael has accomplished something no one in the two-wheel sport has ever done before.
Speed's coverage of the AMA Motocross Championship from RedBud is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. By Progressive. Before the gremlins get you, get Progressive, #1 in motorcycle insurance. And by the all-new 2007 Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. We're back, and we're excited to be back here at the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship, presented by Monster Energy Kawasaki, because it is the last race of the weekend. It is, of course, Motocross Moto 2, and the showdown again between Stewart and Carmichael. And this is the way it stands. Whoever has the highest points tally after the 2 motos, of course, is the overall round winner. But here's the clinch, is that whoever wins the second one carries more weight, it carries more value, and you can win the overall exactly like Ricky Carmichael did at Budds Creek 2 weeks ago. Stewart won the opener, Carmichael won the second, and of course Ricky won the overall. For a Progressive Direct pre-race report, here's Aaron Bates.
As these guys get themselves lined up right at the starting gate here for the second moto. You can just feel how intense it is down here. And I'm standing here with Mike Alessi. Mike, great job there in the first moto. What's going through your head coming here as you get lined up?
Just try to get the whole shot, get out front and have a good, fun race with Carmichael and Stewart. This is Ricky's last ride, so it'd be a nice race to be up there with him in his last race.
Best of luck to you. We're going to slide on over, grab a really quick soundbite from Ricky Carmichael himself, who's just getting himself managed up here. Ricky, you're kind of fired up. You want to take this win more than anything right now. What would this mean to you to take this one home?
Well, it'd be very, very special with it being my last time coming here to RedBud, and just to finish out. I know that the end is near, and it's nice just to get any kind of win that you can. So it's going to be tough. James is riding good, as he always does. Don't need to say that all the time. He's really fast, but I'm going to give it my all. It's going to be good.
Good luck out there. Last but definitely not least, we're going to grab a real quick sound from James Stewart himself, who's lined up, eager, just fresh off his victory. James, weren't here yesterday for practice. What's going through your head on this start line?
I just want to go out and have fun. I rode pretty good that first moto, so just got to go out and ride like that, and I think I'll be fine. I feel pretty good, so we'll see what happens.
Guys, not only is the temperature heating up down here, but expect this battle to be on fire as well for Moto 2.
Aaron, we're not going to let you off the hook. We've heard tens of thousands this weekend screaming RedBud, so now it's your turn on national TV.
Great, you're putting me on the spot. Well, here you go. RedBud!
Good one, Aaron.
That is the signature sound here in Buchanan, and the crowd, the fans, and our own Aaron do a very good job of it as we go to the Suzuki starting grid. We'll let you read that. We'll let you enjoy the names and where they will start from. But let's come back and give a big pat on the back again to Red Bull KTM pilot Mike Alessi. He got the progressive hole shot in the opening moto. Can he do it again?
Yeah, he was second fastest qualifier, hole shotted, finished third in the first moto. Had a really solid ride. And I look for him to do much of the same because his confidence is high, and the Red Bull KTM team really have that bike dialed in.
It's going to give him a thrill. All of a sudden he says to himself, I'm leading Ricky, I'm leading James.
And he seems to be the most comfortable there. So we'll see if he can duplicate it here in the second moto as we look at the onboard with Rockstar Suzuki's Michael Byrne. Was 12th in the first moto, just outside of the top 10. I'm sure he's looking to improve upon that.
We are moments away from Moto 2 round 5, the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. Everybody's getting pumped up. The first one was brilliant. A really good fight between Stewart and Carmichael. The Kawasaki man came out on top. Ricky made a handful of errors. Can this one be clean? Will he ride away from James Stewart?
And there's been 5 brand sweeps here at RedBud. Earlier today, Ryan Villapoto have won the lights. Can James Stewart on a Kawasaki also win the motocross?
Moto 2 for the motocross class. Is it Alessi again? Yes, it is, but around the outside goes James Stewart. Mike Alessi comes back on the Red Bull KTM. What a blinding start. And good one from Michael Byrne as well. Byrne holds third momentarily. Where is Carmichael?
Great start for Michael Alessi. Red Bull KTM really duplicating that effort of the first moto. And as we see Carmichael come through,
he is about 8th or 9th.
I'm thinking he's further back than that, and he would have just lost a couple of positions as he closes. This is in.
Coming up on Rockstar Suzuki rider Troy Adams. But what about Mike Alessi? He has flicked the switch here at RedBud.
You can see how the track is so torn up here late in the day. The last moto at RedBud this year. Track started out completely smooth this morning. Riders were complaining that the mud was too deep. Now it's really starting to dry out. Look at all the lines coming into the turn as Carmichael picks and chooses the lines where there's not another rider. I think he's going past Tim Ferry.
Well, on the previous turn, they all played follow the leader. Ricky went wide. He gained 2 positions. He almost got another one there. So he's coming up on Tim Ferry, Grant Langston. And it is still Mike Alessi on the Red Bull KTM, who has a healthy margin over James Stewart. Michael Byrne is still very much in the mix as well. Langston, he's out of the way for Carmichael. Inside, look at Ferry and Byrne going at it. Langston comes back. Carmichael Carmichael switches to the inside on the whoops. He's changing line mid-track, and Byrne gets swallowed up there. Oh, Langston's gone long.
Langston blew the turn after the whoop section as we had a four-way battle. Michael Byrne still retaining the top position in that group.
He still has Carmichael behind him. They jump LaRocco's lead. The triple uphill on board with Byrne, and that's what it looks like to get overtaken by the greatest of all time.
And Carmichael knows that Stewart's out front. He needs to get past Stewart for the overall here at RedBud.
The sun coming into play as Mike Alessi leads for the entire first lap. He had to fight with Stewart in the opening two turns. Right here, they argued over the lead, but Alessi is still on top. How much did that podium in Moto 1 do for his confidence?
Well, it seems to have done a great amount for his confidence. He's gone out, he's led the fastest motocross riders in the world. In the first Moto, a few laps, he's already got one under his belt with James Stewart right on him. Just an incredible ride by Mike Alessi at this point.
He had a podium several years ago in the big class. He's had a podium in Moto 1 here today. Can he walk away with another podium overall for the weekend? That would be a marvelous result. Remember, 30 minutes plus 2 laps is what's on the board. And look at the margin, second to third. Carmichael's got some catch up to do as well.
And that's Gavin Graysick sitting in third place right now. Awesome start. He's got the number 4. 10 motocross championships in a row breathing down his neck.
14th in the opening moto for Graysick. He's running third at the moment, but you know it's only a matter of time, like right there, until Carmichael moves up into the top 3. Byrne, Ferry, Jeff Alessi. And that was costly for Langston, overshooting the whoops because he's way down in 8th now. First to second, there's the margin. KTM over Kawasaki over Suzuki, the top 3.
Now, is Mike Alessi just pouring it on here, or is Stewart taking it easy? I think Mike Alessi is really putting together some great laps.
Spent a lot of time out on the track yesterday, just going around the outside of the circuit, watching these guys in practice and qualifying. And Alessi had it lit up right from the go. Here's Stewart on the inside, from nowhere to the lead. As quick as you like, James Stewart is a new race leader.
What an aggressive move by James Stewart. He came to the inside, was on the throttle, the bike was bouncing all around, and it seemed like he just threaded the needle and just beat Mike Alessi to the intersection to take the lead.
And Alessi cased out on that third jump on the LaRocco lead. He was okay though, he shook his head, it's like, oop, that wasn't pleasant, but I'll keep on going. Now, the margin from new race leader James Stewart to Ricky Carmichael in third. Just wait a moment, we'll give it to you in 7 seconds. Alessi comes back, outside to inside. Can't quite do it. He's not done with yet.
Stewart has something wrong right now. He keeps reaching up with his left hand. Something on his helmet. I'm not sure what it is, but he's made several attempts to adjust. I believe it's his goggles.
Well, let's have another look at it. He comes over the line.
Okay, you know what it is? He has a tear-off stuck on his thumb. I know it sounds silly, but as you reach up and pull the tear-offs, and what he might have done at that point was shake the tear-off loose.
Still going for those goggles as well, Jeff, so it's an ongoing problem for our race leader, James Stewart. More when we return. Round 5 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Series continues. This one presented by Monster Energy Kawasaki, and fancy that, we've got a green machine out in front at the hands of James Stewart. But guess what? Ricky Carmichael is starting to reel Mike Alessi and he in. Here comes Ricky.
After that incredible battle that we had the first moto between James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael, you see Carmichael having to ride from behind. And Stewart trying to make a Kawasaki sweep today here by winning both motos.
Let's take you back to the start of the race and show you the Progressive Direct whole shot replay.
And Michael Lessie, once again, about 8 gates from the inside, just rockets to the first turn and just makes it to the line for the Progressive Direct hole shot.
How fast was Stewart with that first overtaking move? And then take a look at this. This is it for the lead of the race. And look at how fast and efficiently Stewart makes this happen.
And he's bouncing around the whole time, and they intersect. Stewart just gets in there, slams the brakes, takes the position, takes the lead from Michael Lessie.
You think that caught Lessie by surprise a little?
I think so. It was such an aggressive move as we see Ricky Carmichael really putting on the charge on Michael Lessie here.
There will be a lot of focus on these top 3 riders, so let's give some credit. Grayson is still in 4th over Tim Ferry. Byrne is 6th. Jeff Alessi is 7th. Adams is 8th. Short is 9th. And Sykes is 10th. Well, in the opening moto, Mike Alessi had his moment in the sun before being overtaken by Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart, and then they cleared out. This is a much stronger performance from Alessi.
Definitely hanging on, putting in a pretty good ride here, and Stewart is not that far out front. When he made the pass on Alessi, he needed to really put on a charge and gain some time because Carmichael is on the gas right now. He's on the move. Just about 4 seconds behind Stewart at this point. We're only 8.5 minutes into this 30 minutes plus 2-lap moto.
The critical piece of information from our timing and scoring monitor, though, the last lap around, Carmichael was a full 3 seconds faster than James Stewart. For second, on the inside of Alessi, and the move sticks. Now Carmichael has a clear track ahead to take the fight to James Stewart.
Carmichael is definitely on a mission. Watching Stewart in the opening laps, he seemed very relaxed. He didn't seem like he was riding with a lot of aggression. Maybe going for a little more flow, a little smoother, maybe conserving energy for a battle that is to come later on in this moto if Carmichael is able to keep that lap time up and close in on James Stewart.
Speaking of James, here is our race leader into the Supercross whoops. Aaron?
Take a look at what you're seeing here right now. Mike Williams, James Stewart's mechanic, is on the sidelines here at the mechanics area trying to pass over a set of goggles when James Stewart comes by. Obviously, at the pace that he's going at, it may not be possible or maybe not even be legal from the AMA. We're trying to find that out, but keep your eyes open to see if James Stewart's going to be wearing a new pair of goggles here shortly.
Well, taking a look at James Stewart, we see that he's actually wearing roll-offs. Whereas Oakley goggles with the roll-offs, I thought he might have had a tear-off. They'll throw a tear-off on over the roll-offs for the start. Typically, it seemed like Stewart was shaking his left hand like that there was something attached to it. Now, at this point, he might have a problem with those roll-offs. That means that when any dirt or mud gets on there, if there's a problem with that, he has no way to clean it other than just wiping it with his hand.
There is no way that he can come over for a new set of goggles when Ricky Carmichael is this close. Tell us more about this situation, Aaron.
Yeah, really quick update on that, guys. James Stewart has to pull over into the entrance of the mechanics area where he has to re-enter back on the track. Obviously, this is going to be very time-consuming for him to do, and he's going to have to weigh it out and see if it's worth his while here in a little bit.
Well, when you're out in front and you have the opportunity to beat Ricky Carmichael for the overall, he's got to keep going.
You know, really thinking about this, about the possibilities, if he needs other goggles, if there's not a problem with the roll-off in any way, it could be a situation where sweat has dripped down onto the inside of the lens. And if that happens, it makes it really hard. You know, it's like when you're in the, when you're in the shower and the shower door's wet and you can't see through it clearly.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Sorry, Jeff, but Ricky had a moment. Able to get it back on track.
Wonder if Carmichael's seeing clearly through his goggles too. But the chase is on. We're 11 minutes into this moto. Seems like these two riders have stabilized. They're going to try to get a game plan together, find some sort of strategy to race for the overall here at RedBud.
And the attention to the goggles of James Stewart continues. And the chase continues from Carmichael's side of the fence. The margin about 3 seconds when they come to the line. Other than what we're watching, of course, if you'd like to see high revving, tyre shredding, wheel standing, two-wheeled action, well, it returns for an all-new season, of course. It is Superbikes, and it premieres July 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed. Welcome back, folks. Lee Diffie along with Jeff Emig and Aaron Bates. You're watching Moto 2 Round 5 here at RedBud in Michigan, and the chase continues. Carmichael hunting down James Stewart, and the Honda Performance camera from high above, from our chopper above RedBud, shows you the lead margin that Stewart enjoys.
Last time across the start-finish line, it was 3.5 seconds for James Stewart over Carmichael. It is definitely below that now, and you can see how deep these ruts are and how bad the hooks are coming out of there. So many lines to choose from, so many bad lines at this point of the day, late in the second moto.
Further back in the field, and this is Andrew Short. This is the fight for 5th with Gavin Graysick. Had a dynamic start. He was as high as 3rd, Graysick, so really enjoying a wonderful second moto.
And the interesting thing here is Gavin Graysick is on a production Honda. Andrew Short's on the factory-backed Honda. Equipment would be quite a bit different at this point. So it's a great ride. Graysick has been putting in just huge efforts each and every week. And that's what it's going to take to eventually get on that factory Honda team.
Always nice when you're a privateer when you can take it to the factory, boys, isn't it?
Well, at this point, he is doing a great job, and been real proud of him so far this series. Really shown some potential.
Behind Andrew Short, it's Jeff Alessi. Then Michael Byrne has dropped to 8th. Kevin Wyndham has worked his way into the top 10. And then Troy Adams. Look at this, side by side. Andrew Short's growing impatient round the outside and moves into that top 5 spot.
And Graysick was trying to close the line. He came in on the inside and tried to get out to the outside and pinch him off, but Short really carried some tremendous momentum into the outside turn before this ambush.
You can hear the crowd hollering, cheering, applauding. Just look at them. It's 3 deep along that fence as they fly over LaRocco's Leap. There's a grandstand to the side there. This is a really great viewing track. There's so many nice vantage points around the RedBud circuit. I know this was one of your favorites over the years, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely was one of my favorites. I had 3 wins on the lights, a couple of wins on the big bike here, but it was just the atmosphere of this weekend. 4th of July weekend was just so great. The crowd here at RedBud is just tremendous. They're so into it.
We take you back up front. This is what it looks like over the uphill double. Stewart, Carmichael. It's now down to less than 2 seconds.
Just about halfway through the moto right now. These riders are trying to find their very best lines, keep their heart rate down, but yet keep up that pace. They're turning about, well, Stewart was a 2 minute 32 seconds last lap. Carmichael a 2:30, about a second and a half quicker. That's how he's closing the gap.
In the opening moto, it's a similar scenario where Ricky got by. James started to pull out an advantage, and he may get another error. And he opened the door, and he let James Stewart by and to take the win. He could not recover, even though getting so close to him on the final lap. Hey, are you a member of the AMA? If not, it is very simple to join. And we would highly encourage you to become a member of the AMA, just like these superstars on track right now. AMADirectLink.com, or simply call 800-AMA-JOIN. Why not? Speed's coverage of the AMA Motocross Championship from RedBud is brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. We're back, and the chase continues. It doesn't really get any better than this. This is what the crowd came to see. An all-out fight between Stewart and Carmichael. Wow, a moment there for James Stewart. He almost threw it away.
I don't know exactly what happened there, but the front end came up on him, entering back onto the start straight. Very fortunate, really had to muscle that Kawasaki back into position. See him come down the middle of the track here and hit some braking bumps and wheelies one. And then just the front wheel pops up. Great save by James Stewart. Excellent piece of riding.
Quick recovery, quick reflexes. Now he's got to fight again because Carmichael is relentless.
Carmichael is on Stewart now, and Stewart, you can see him almost every one of those big air jumps. He's fidgeting with his goggles. You wonder if something is still going on there that is distracting him. He's made a few mistakes here and there throughout this moto, but right now the heat is on.
Coming up to complete another lap. Less than 10 minutes remain, plus the bonus 2 laps. Carmichael is coming.
And if I'm Ricky Carmichael right now, I'm feeling real comfortable.
Outside to the inside, it looked like he switched it. This is where he made a great move in Moto 1 on Alessi. Tried to do it on James Stewart, but Stewart closed the door. Ricky goes one side, Stewart the other.
And Stewart doing a great job of guarding the inside lines, not letting Carmichael get inside there and make the pass.
Ricky tried to jump to the inside. I thought Moto 2 at Bud's Creek was special. This is even better.
And just like we seen in the first moto, James Stewart has stepped up his game. Really elevated his level of focus and concentration. It's almost like he was waiting for Ricky to pull up to him and say, okay, now let's battle.
The uphill double. To go back to one of our storylines at the top of the show, remember that this is Ricky Carmichael's second last AMA Toyota Motocross event. The next one, the last one, is at Millville. So Stewart only has this and one more round left to try and beat the great man.
And Stewart taking all the short lines and Carmichael riding all the wide lines, the long lines. See, same thing there. Carmichael way on the outside. He cuts back across. Stewart's inside. Carmichael's on the outside trying to find anywhere he can to gain that advantage. Trying to take the overall at his very last RedBud Motocross.
Just like in Moto 1, Carmichael demonstrates he's not afraid to try different lines at any stage in the race. Even now when he's fighting for the lead with 8 minutes left.
Well, the track is so treacherous at this point. You can see a dozen lines coming into the turn. Insides, outsides. It's also difficult at this time of day because when they go through some of the treat areas, there's shadows that are cast across the racetrack.
What a run through the Supercross whoops. Carmichael has displayed amazing speed, momentum and rhythm through there all weekend long. This is a super fight and we're going to rejoin it when we come back on the other side of this. We are back at RedBud and we are back with this incredible battle at the front of the motocross field. Final moto of the weekend, final race of the day. Can James Stewart hang on?
And the race is on. The urgency, 7 minutes plus 2 laps. This is the battle for the overall. If they finish like this, Stewart will be 1-1. Carmichael gets by, that'll be a 2-1 to Stewart's 1-2, and they will tie at points. And the winner of the second moto will gain the advantage in the event of a tie.
But the big thing is, Stewart has never beaten Carmichael in the motocross scene. This is his chance for an overall round weekend victory. He would dearly love that before Ricky calls it quits.
That's really what it amounts to, is Stewart showing that he deserves that once Carmichael steps away from this championship, that he deserves this championship. Carmichael's won every race this year, but Stewart has been right there and put in such great rides and such a good fight, just like he's doing here today. Stewart, such a determined racer, does not want to give Ricky any wins, and Ricky's job is to go out there and win all these motos before his career is up.
And I want to be a little more specific in what I said there, Jeff. This year, he wants to beat him this year before he farewells him.
You see Stewart once again inside. Carmichael electing to follow Stewart. And what is so difficult, Lee, about this track here at this point is the ruts. As you can see, they are so deep. And the inside ruts, they have these hooks that you come out where they actually, the rut pushes out and then it comes back. So if you're leaned over to the left, and then as you're coming out, it kicks the bike up. And it takes an incredible amount of skill and balance to negotiate those and keep up your momentum along the way.
Time is running out. Just a little over 5 minutes remaining, plus the 2 laps.
And just as we seen Ricky Carmichael pull right up on the back of James Stewart in this same section last lap, all of a sudden, Stewart, burst of energy, stretches it back out 2 or 3 bike lanes.
He was somewhat ill in the second moto at Bud's Creek 2 weeks ago. He's strong, he's healthy, he's fit, and he looks good here, doesn't he, at RedBud?
And he's riding very smart at this point. Just like in the first moto, now they're getting into the lapped riders. You have to be a smart, patient rider, and you really have to think about not following another rider into one of those inside turns or into a deep groove, because once you get in, you can't get out. If that lap rider makes a mistake or slows, you're locked into that line, into that rail, if you will.
And the lap riders being warned as they came over the line. The leaders are coming. Behind Stewart and Carmichael, Michael Alessi maintains his 3rd place. Tim Ferry is up to 4th. Short, Gracing, Wyndham is up to 7th. Jeff Alessi is 8th. Grant Langston is up to 9th, and Michael Byrne rounds out the top 10. Stewart is hanging on. Can he go all the way? We'll find out. Closing stages of Moto 2, round 5 of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship. We're in Michigan, in Buchanan at RedBud, a track that Ricky Carmichael has won 6 consecutive years in the top class. Is this going to be 7? Or will James Stewart spoil the party?
Our 2 biggest stars in the sport of motocross once again duking it out. This is for the Moto win and for the overall. In Ricky Carmichael's final RedBud, you know James Stewart wants to take this one.
As Ricky said to Aaron Bates earlier, before the start of this race, he said, James Stewart always rides well. I know I'm going to have a fight on my hands. And he's had to come from behind. He didn't get the best start, Ricky Carmichael. And he's had to work his way through methodically. Now he's as close as he's ever been.
Carmichael's having to pull tear-offs. He'll pull the roll-off. There's a lot of roots flying up. This Michigan soil. See a rider down. Carmichael goes wide. Stewart on the inside.
Oh, he's good through there. This is where he got him in the opening moto. Can't quite get close enough. Stewart goes wide and then cuts in as they head to the Rocco's Leap one more time. Take a look at this. The uphill triple.
3rd gear wide open on a Works 450 that makes a lot of horsepower. That's a big jump.
And they make it look as casual and as easy as you like. Just a little over 2 minutes remain, and then the 2-lap board will be displayed.
Great rides out of these 2 champions. You see Carmichael hitting wide lines, hitting inside lines. They're doing everything they can do. At this point, their heart rates are maxed out. This is as high as their hearts will beat. And they're in such great physical condition that they have the ability to sustain that and race a motorcycle at this level. It's a pretty incredible athletes, these 2.
The sky jump for one of the few final times in this round. The round where Carmichael farewells RedBud. He has just one more AMA motocross event left in what has been a stellar career.
And this is the section where Ricky Carmichael is really closed up on the back of James Stewart every lap. Out by LaRocco's Leap, Stewart seems to be a little quicker, but Carmichael is really dialed in through this section. He's got some great lines. Chooses to go inside.
The front tucked a little there on Stewart, and then Carmichael had some troubles getting out of that right-hander as well.
Slight advantage for James Stewart. Pulls out about a second.
He's down! Stewart is down! Oh no, he's stuck! Can you believe it? Well, Ricky had the adversity in the opening moto, and now it has bitten James Stewart with 34 seconds left, plus the 2 laps. The dream for 07 at this point in time is over anyway.
What an incredible gift Carmichael has been given. He gave away the first moto to James Stewart, and Stewart just gave the overall right back to him. So disappointing. Stewart was putting in an incredible ride here in the second moto at RedBud. One of the best rides that I've ever seen him ride in the Premier class. Such a disappointment for the Monster Energy Kawasaki rider.
And it was such a nothing moment. It just got stuck. Through the whoops. Let's take you back to that moment.
See Stewart coming down on the right line, down on the inside, and it almost looks like he grabbed a handful of front brake and the front wheel just stopped on him and tucked. Take another look from a different angle from behind.
And watch what Carmichael has to do. He has to jump cross-rutted to avoid coming into contact with James. He's stuck. Carmichael has to jump over the back over about 3 ruts for a clear passage through. How fortunes can change so quickly. And all of a sudden, Ricky Carmichael is cruising out in front. From 0 to 360 in 8 days, watchers, actor, model and car enthusiast Tyson Beckford and award-winning import car designer Lucky J fine-tune a car from bumper to bumper in just 8 days. Fine-tune and premieres July 12 at 9 Eastern, only on Speed. The white flag is ready for Ricky Carmichael. There it is, one more lap. And he will continue this incredible winning streak at RedBud. It will be 7 consecutive years. Just amazing.
What a great battle here today between James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael. And Carmichael, is on his way being victorious once again. Such a great feeling. His last trip to RedBud, Michigan, where he's had so much success.
Tim Ferry is putting the heat on Mike Alessi for that 3rd spot. There's James Stewart. He's some 20 and a half seconds behind Ricky Carmichael. While we were away in that last commercial break, there was a huge cheer up on top of the hill for Ricky Carmichael, and he kind of shook his head a little bit. I think he's saying, I don't want to win it this way. He wanted to fight all the way to the end.
He's always been like that. He loves the battle. He craves that. And right now, the 800 of Mike Alessi, 15 of Tim Ferry. Definitely in a heated battle here. This is for the final spot on the podium here in the second moto.
Overall, there has been a different rider in 3rd place every round so far this year. Ferry got 3rd in the opening round. Davey Millsap's got 3rd at High Point. Grant Langston got 3rd at Southwick. And Chad Reed, in his one-off appearance, got 3rd at Budds Creek. Could Mike Alessi be our 5th different man in that 3rd spot on the podium today? He needs to hold off Timmy Ferry for just half a lap.
And this is how they finished in the first moto, as Ferry was 4th. Alessi was 3rd. Alessi hanging on for dear life here, guarding those insides, and Ferry goes down.
Right where Stewart did.
Same exact corner where James Stewart went down.
He's on his way home, and he acknowledges this enormous RedBud crowd because he's saying farewell. This is his 2nd last AMA Motocross event. He'll take a little break and he'll return at round 9 at Spring Creek in Millville.
Look at Carmichael
to style it up.
Unbelievable. Most wins, look at that, 6 wins. This will be 7. This is in the Premier class.
It's been a privilege to watch him. This era of motocross and supercross has just been something special. You played your part in it, Jeff.
And one last time for Carmichael over Larocco's leap. A good fist pump to the crowd. Just an incredible effort by Ricky Carmichael throughout his career and his reign of terror here at RedBud. One more win for the greatest of all time.
What an athlete, what a rider. What a champion, what a winner. Ricky Carmichael gets his 7th consecutive victory at RedBud here in Michigan. He does it again and continues the winning streak in 07. But what about Bike 7? You've got to feel a little for James Stewart. And maybe a little bit of frustration there with Tyson Hadsall as he came over the line. But what a way for Ricky Carmichael and his good friend there, Ben Townley, as he farewells One of the best tracks on the circuit. And what a group of fans. They love RedBud, they love motocross, they love Ricky Carmichael. Well done. He saw the win escape him in Moto 1. Stewart saw it get away in Moto 2. Talk about styling it up on your way to victory. Well done, Ricky Carmichael. Speed's coverage of the AMA Motocross Championship from RedBud is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters and all-terrain vehicles. And by the all-new 2007 Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. We're back to wrap things up from RedBud here in Michigan. The AMA Toyota Motocross Series presented by Monster Energy Kawasaki. And what a day, what a weekend it's been, as we take you to the overall results for the motocross class on the Toyota Truck scoreboard. And there you have it, the top two, and Mike Alessi getting there for his first podium of this year on the big bikes. Well done, but it's time to hear from our winner.
The domination continues for Ricky Carmichael. The last go-around here at RedBud, you can probably even hear yourself think down here, but RC, even though you won, you still had a sense of frustration when you came around the corner. What was that about?
Absolutely. You know, it was hard. You know, I thought it would have gone a lot smoother, but hey, James stepped it up, and just super pumped to get a win. Not the way I wanted to do it, but hey, life goes on, and you live another day, man.
Hey, take a look at this, guys, how close the team actually is. Take a look around on the backside of his pants, the number 7 and the number 4 for team. Tight like this, a great battle between you two.
Thank you.
That's what we figured, that wasn't the way that he wanted to win it, but a win is a win. As we take a look at the points, and 16, the margin for Ricky. We hear more from the podium. Here's Aaron.
James Stewart, frustration is taking place right now. James, what exactly went on with that crash?
Man, I just, you know, it was just tough. I went a little too far inside and just hit my brakes and stopped. And I was so pissed right now. I mean, felt like I had it. You know, I only had 2 laps left, and I was feeling pretty good. But man, just let it go like that. But I can't be unhappy too much. I rode my butt off today, and I'm happy.
Great battle for the fans out there.
Thank you.
He did ride well. He rode very well.
Just an incredible ride.
Jeff, final thoughts. I think we've witnessed something special today.
Well, this definitely was a classic RedBud, and I mean, Ricky Carmichael going out on top. His incredible reign here of 7 wins in the motocross class, and a great ride by Mike Alessi.
How about the atmosphere here at RedBud? Just stunning. The next round of the AMA Toyota Motocross Championship is at Unadilla Valley Sports Center in New York, and it's in 2 weeks' time. Ricky won't be there, but the rest of the boys will, and we hope you join us on Speed.
Lucas Oil Products is pledging to donate 100,000 meals through the No Kid Hungry organization, helping struggling families. Because as schools shut their doors in response to COVID-19, a lot of kids are left without high-quality meals that would normally be provided by school. So Lucas Oil will donate meals, and all you have to do to help is share the official campaign post. You'll find it on Lucas Oil's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So Lucas Oil will donate 1 meal for each person that shares the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family over social media. Again, share the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family on social media, and up to 100,000 meals will be donated through the No Kid Hungry organization. You can find Lucas Oil on Facebook at official Lucas Oil, Twitter at Lucas_oil, and Instagram at Lucas Oil Products.